want roll with a good girl. Do it big, do it all for a good girl. One time, this is a song for the good girl.
Hey guys, welcome back to Good Girl Gone Fab TV. My name is Simone Renee if you're new to my channel, and welcome to Good Girl Gone Fab TV. By the title of this video, we are doing a review and a first impressions because I'm very excited because I love blending sponges and just like blending products because it's the core of the makeup game. Like, you need a good tool to have some good foundation and some good makeup. So we are going to be reviewing the Bakerie beauty sponges. I got them today in the mail and I'm very excited because they are super cute. So they come in this little box and that's just the packaging. And then this is the packaging for the Bakerie blending eggs. And as you know, if you're familiar with Bakerie, everything in their line is bakery related. So these are the blending eggs, and you need eggs for good blending in any baking product. And it's super cute because it actually comes in a little carton with 6 sponges or blending eggs. And yeah, so it's cute. And it has the nutrition facts for the eggs. It says great when used wet, complexion smoothing, and it gets in those hard to reach areas. It's durable, reusable, and eco-friendly. So in this box, if I can get it out, it is a little hard to get the cover off of the carton. It's cute, but it takes way too long to get this out. Okay, so I got that off, and here are the sponges. So like I said, it comes with 6. I have 5 in here because I took one out to wet it for application for the video. But comes with 6 sponges. And here's a sponge, by the way. It comes with 6 sponges and they are pink. And they're shaped pretty much like a typical beauty sponge. It is very, very similar in shape to the Beauty Blender. But they are very dense. They're pretty like tough when they're dry. But this is a great value. They're only $18 for 6 sponges, which is a great price because you can get one Beauty Blender, as we all know, for $20, and this is a lot better deal. So you get 6 sponges for $18. So it's very affordable when you think of how long sponge lasts. I typically change my sponge every like 3 to 5 months. Once it becomes like, you can tell it gets old and it starts to break a little bit. Just because I have nails, I tear my sponges a lot. But they're reusable, so it's not like you're going to be using a sponge a day. You're probably going to have this last for at least a half a year, maybe longer, just all 6 of these. You can purchase these on the Bakerie website, obviously. And in this video, I'm actually going to be doing a side-by-side comparison to the Bakerie sponge. This is how it looks like wet. This is better. This is what it looks like wet. And then this is the Beauty Blender wet. So in size, you can definitely tell that the Bakerie sponge is a lot bigger than my Beauty Blender sponge. They both did expand. And just so you can see the size comparison to a dry sponge, this is the Bakerie sponge wet, and this is a dry. So it kind of doubled, maybe tripled in size, and is a lot more bouncy and soft when it's wet. So just off of first impressions, definitely I think this is going to work a lot better wet than dry. I usually don't use my sponges dry, so I'm not going to attempt it because I know I'm not going to like how it looks, because I don't like how any sponge works dry. So I'm going to use my Bakerie blending sponge on my right side, and I'm going to use my Beauty Blender by Beauty Blender on my left side, and I'm going to compare what my foundation and concealer and contour and all that looks like, so we can do a side-by-side comparison, because my Beauty Blender is my holy grail product. It is my favorite sponge of all time, and I want to see how this lives up to like the Beauty Blender sponge. So since they're so like similar in color, shape, and you know, they're both sponges and everything is compared to the Beauty Blender, it just makes sense for me to, you know, do them side by side so we can see how good it actually is. So yeah. Also, if you have any questions about my hair, I do have a sew-in with a closure. It's my first time having one. I have, I think, a 16-inch closure in 18 and 20 inch bundles, and it's from the Alluring Hair Collection by my hairstylist Aisha. I'll be sure to put her Instagram info in the description box because I love her and she does such a great job with natural hair and obviously sew-ins and weaves. So if you want to check her out, she's located in Detroit. Her information will be in my description box, and I really love this hair. If you want a review on the hair, let me know because I will definitely do it. It's definitely popping. So nevertheless, we're gonna jump right into the foundation and we're gonna get started. Okay, so for this foundation, today I'm gonna be using my Fenty Beauty foundation because it's also a holy grail. I know that it's gonna blend well. I know it's gonna look good, and I know it's not gonna fail me no matter what I use. I don't want to use like a new foundation that I never tried. I'm gonna use something that we know is good on this channel. We love, and I'm going out, so I kind of want my foundation to be popping. Well, I might be going out, I don't know. Nevertheless, this is the Fenty Beauty primer that I use every day with whatever foundation I use. I also have on the Jaclyn Hill palette on my eyes if you guys are curious, and my lashes are by Glitz Cosmetics. So yeah, my primer is on. Cool. So we are going to start with the Beauty Bakerie side because this is the Beauty Bakerie review. Now, what I do a lot lately is I apply my foundation with a brush and then blend it out with a sponge. So I'm going to do that because that's usually what I do. It's a lot easier, and I don't like for my sponge to get like super dirty. So anyways, I'm just going to, oops, shoot. I'm just gonna put the foundation on my face on my right side. I'm not blending it, so don't say I'm cheating. I'm just literally just applying it. It's a lot of foundation. I think I put too much. Cool. And then we are gonna go in with the Beauty Bakerie sponge. I'm gonna use the bottom side because that's how I blend out my foundation. And we're gonna see where it goes. I'm scared. I hate, you know the feeling when you use a new sponge and you don't want to get it dirty? That's how I feel right now because it's so pretty and perfectly pink, but that's the cost. So yeah, let's go. It's a lot bigger than what I'm used to because the Beauty Blender isn't this big. But okay, so far I'm not getting really any complaints. It's blending out very fast, and then I flip it over so I can get under my eye. It's really soft too, and it's pretty bouncy. So I'm not getting any streaking. Everything is pretty perfectly blended, honestly. You guys like that blend? Alright, so then I'm gonna move on to the other side. I'm just putting some leftover foundation on my face. I think I'll be able to tell like a difference once I have two different sides blended. Alright, so this is my Beauty Blender sponge. And this is like, this feels like more lightweight on my face. Like I don't really feel like it's, like it feels softer than the Beauty Bakerie sponge. But I don't feel like it feels so light, and it's a lot easier to hold in my hand because it's smaller. It's like the perfect size. But so far, I feel like they've did the exact same thing. What do you guys think? This side is a little bit more full coverage though, I am seeing. So I'm about to go back in and add some more foundation to this side. Actually, yeah. I feel like the Beauty Blender does soak up a little bit more product. So I like that about the Bakerie sponge, is like everything applied and it didn't get soaked up into the sponge as much. Yeah, this is soft, but it's like, it's dense at the same time. For foundation, it blended out everything exactly the same, honestly. And it's super easy to use. The only thing I complain about right now is it's really big, but it also covers a lot of space. I'm just like trying to see how it feels like. Yeah, I like it. So yeah, foundation looks flawless. I don't have any complaints about either side. Worked out perfectly. I'm gonna move on to my concealer and use my ColourPop concealer. And by the way, my foundation shade for Fenty is 420, and then this is Deep Tan by ColourPop. Okay, so my under eye concealer is there. I usually let it sit for a second. And since I can't really separate like my nose and stuff, I'm just gonna use my Bakerie sponge so we can see how it works. I'm a little nervous just because of how big it is. I usually like big things, but my face is small. So yeah, I'm just gonna go in and see how it blends out. Guys, I really like this sponge. Like, I feel like I'm getting more use of the product. Usually I have to kind of go in twice with my Beauty Blender because it soaks up a little bit, but it blends out perfectly. This is, this low-key is nice, y'all. Okay, nevertheless, I'm gonna blend out my under eye because that is the most important part. If it fails there, it fails everywhere. So let's go. I'm taking the small side and I'm kind of pinching it. Okay, I'm gonna move on to the other side because I don't want it to dry as much. It's so hard not to go back and forth. Oh, but this beat though. Y'all see this snatch already. But you see that concealer beat though. Like, ooh. Okay. I like how this side looks more. but this side was easier, if that makes sense. Like this side was just easy to go, but I feel like this side looks a little bit more full coverage because it didn't soak up that much product. Let me guys know what you guys think in the comments, obviously. And then I am going to move on to setting my concealer with my Laura Mercier translucent setting powder. I feel like this powder on the Beauty Bakerie side is thicker, like it picks up more. I don't know how I feel about that. Sometimes I like a lot of powder, sometimes I don't. Really just depends on my mood. So I'm not gonna really fault that. But okay. And then I just let that kind of sit for a second. Kind of bake. I don't like doing intense baking. I just do it for as long as I put on some contour powder. Actually, no. Am I gonna? I don't usually cream contour. And I already got powder on my face. So I'm not gonna cream contour today, but wipe away this powder before it dries. And I use my Micro Smooth powder to help wipe away. I'm gonna spray my face like always. And then something I've been doing lately is using my sponge after I spray. Make sure I get under my eye. And then I go back with my sponge and kind of set everything in. And then, I mean, my face is pretty much done with my sponges. So I'm gonna come back and like do my lips and like highlighter. And we're gonna talk about these sponges and see which one I like better. Okay, so we are back and my face is done. And I am feeling it for sure. So let's talk about the Beauty Bakerie blending egg. Do I like it? I love this sponge, and I was very, very, very pleasantly surprised because I am never like usually wowed by sponges. The last like new sponge I used was the Fenty Beauty one, and I used it for like a month, and I went back to my Beauty Blender. And then other than my Beauty Blender, I used the Real Technique sponges, and I like those sponges, but they still aren't as good as my Beauty Blender. But these sponges, this blending egg, despite the fact that it grows 3 times in size as the original like dry one, when it's wet it gets a lot bigger, and I don't love the size, but it's really good for foundation. Not as good for like contouring your nose area, but I love this sponge. I will give it like an 8.5 out of 10, and my Beauty Blender is like a 9 for me. So what I think makes it better than the Beauty Blender is that it doesn't soak up as much product because it's not as porous, and it is a little bit more dense, so it doesn't like soak up as much. It really does blend it out. And the price is another seller for me, because if I can get 6 sponges for the same price as one Beauty Blender, it's already like, why wouldn't you at least try them out? You only can get these on Beauty Bakerie website, but I really love these a lot. Like, I think this side of my face is fantastic. I mean, they both look really good. I can't really see much difference. This side is a little bit more full coverage, but you know, it looks good either way. So these are definitely Good Girl Gone Fab approved. Check them out, and I'm going to be using this a lot in my makeup routine. Yeah, so if you guys have any questions about my Beauty Bakerie blending eggs, make sure to leave them below, comment and I'll let you guys know any more things. I can't think of everything right now, I think, but yeah, I love these sponges. They're so cute. The packaging is a 10 out of 10. The marketing was a 10 out of 10. The whole brand is super cute, and this is definitely one of my favorite things I've tried so far in 2018. So, thanks for watching Good Girl Gone Fab TV, and don't forget to subscribe.